By writing things down and also just putting things in song helps. I like cinematic things. I always say that like I want my music to sound like the musical equivalent of a Christopher Nolan film. So just like big and dramatic and explosions and shit. What's up? I'm Col3trane and today I'm performing Just a Little. But if you felt the way Both my parents are American. My dad is Egyptian, but he grew up in America. But I was born and raised in London. And I think, yeah, that definitely like impacted or impacts still my like musical upbringing, because like I always felt like I lived in like an American household type of environment. But in London, the stuff that I was listening to growing up was always like very different to like what my friends were, like, you know, I don't know, like Stevie and like Elvis Costello and like, you know, and like just like huge breadth of music, but it was like definitely American music. I definitely use songwriting as like a way to express myself in general. I think that it's very much like a release, you know. I definitely put things in my music that I don't talk to people about, that I don't want to talk to people about. But it does oftentimes make me understand the way that I feel better once I've put it in a song. So yeah, it's definitely like, you know, it's again, so cliche, but like therapy, you know? When you get into a routine of doing the same thing, thinking the same way, the inspiration kind of goes. So, and yeah, and I try and do the same thing whenever I'm working with people. It's just kind of like, whether I'm writing or, you know, featuring or whatever it may be, like just try and like give my perspective, because I think that's the most important thing when collaborating. It's like, it's really just your perspective, you know? This project is a bit different for me, kind of stepping into a world that I haven't really been in before, sonically. And I think we kind of like created this world together. It feels like a progression because it's just different to what I've done before. Like I've done live things before. I've toured with a band. I've done live sessions. I really enjoy playing in a band and stuff, singing with a band. But I've never made like a project that's so live, and and in it being live, the songwriting process has been different, you know. Like nothing about the making of this project was contrived, like at all. We just did it. This is what like came out, and there were times where we were like, this is a bit weird. Like, should we not do this? Should we do like the thing that is like safer or whatever, like more usual to us or to me, like. But we were like, nah, like the making of this project felt so right while we were making it. Most people have a difficult relationship with social media. It's like something that I think that if I didn't have to do it, then I probably wouldn't. There are definitely ways that I have been able to like spin it in a positive way by just creating opportunities for myself to do things that I'm like proud to talk about. So, you know, making things, shooting videos, or doing like activations with people that I want to talk about, you know. I guess that's the thing that makes social media like bearable, is when you like are excited about it and you want to share what you're doing and you're proud of what you're doing. Honestly, like in the last 6 months or so, I've just like made just a little bit more of an effort to like connect with people who listen to my music on like on a deeper level, you know. People like the community of people that are listening to my music are like just so talented. And I did this first remix challenge just as like a thought of like, oh, let me test the waters and see, you know, how this goes. And I was like blown away by how like the quality of the submissions for this remix challenge, and like just the creativity. Like people were making crazy stuff, so different to the original track. People were making stuff that sounded like the quality of the soundscaping and all of that stuff was just so good. So I was like, I gotta keep doing this. It's like, it's a great way to just like see what people are on, see what people are making, and yeah, it's really rewarding for me and really fun to hear all of these remixes and see what people are doing. My interest in jazz music definitely comes from My parents, growing up, was always a lot of jazz in the house. I still find jazz music so inspiring because it's something that I'm like, it's like so removed from me. Like I sometimes find that because I listen to so much music, I make so much music, and the kind of mystique of making the kind of music that I make is gone, you know? But when I listen to, I don't know, like Bill Evans, or if I'm listening to like John Coltrane or whatever, it's like the musicianship is so far out of my, like I can't even conceive making that. So that keeps me inspired, because the choices that they're making in their music is, yeah, so far out of my reach that I find it very inspiring. When people think of me as an artist, I want them to think that like he did what he wanted to do. I think that's important to me, especially now, because like music is there's so much music, like music is so saturated that like I just want to be the guy that is remembered for really having having conviction in my artistic decisions, and just making good music, you know? That's what I'm all about.